Eagles season finale with only cons, no pros. You lose, you're the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft. You win, you fall back 3 spots to the 9th pick. And if you're somehow a Giants fan watching, well, hide your eyes or step away from a wall to punch. Washington started hot, jumping out to a 10-point lead. Terry McLaughlin scoring to open it up, but Jalen Hurts responding with not 1, but 2 rushing touchdowns like you see here. This one gives the Eagles the lead, but after Washington goes down and scores to retake the lead, we go to the 4th when Doug Pederson makes the decision to pull Hurts and instead put in Nate Sudfeld. And let's take a good look as to what that experience was like. Not exactly peachy. Drops the snap, Chase Young recovers. Many New York players tweeting upset because if the Eagles were to win, they would have won the division, but instead this final play seals it. Perfectly fitting, perfectly confusing end to a perfectly confusing division all year. Eagles season is over and Washington is your NFC East champs. So with that, the Eagles will pick 6th in the NFL draft this coming April, like I said. But until then, tons of questions and decisions that will come Philly's way. And somehow the main storyline of the day wasn't even the game. It was the headline from this morning, validating what many have felt for the last month. Reports that Carson Wentz and Doug Pederson have a relationship that is, quote, fractured beyond repair, and that Wentz wants out of Philly. ESPN reporting that Wentz plans to ask for a trade in the offseason. As you all remember, Wentz benched in favor of Jalen Hurts a month ago. Reports shortly after saying Wentz wouldn't take a backup role going forward. Pederson has been hot and cold when it comes to committing to a quarterback on a weekly basis, consistently not naming a starter until days after the game. Pederson is expected to stay on as Eagles head coach for 2021, but does have that meeting with owner Jeffrey Lurie on Tuesday discussing the team's plan. As for moving Wentz, some teams see it as mission impossible, with Wentz having that $59 million cap hit in 2021 if they cut him. Now let's dive into how he could get dealt here. The big hiccup, we've talked about it a lot, the cap hit I just mentioned. How does that not get avoided, maybe mitigated? There's a scenario where Wentz, if he works with the team on a deal, meaning he gets to select where he goes and helps with what the Eagles would get back in return, basically you help me, I help you. But even in that scenario, the most likely requires Wentz to take something like $20 million and instead give it back to the Eagles. Somewhere, Warren Buffett spit out his nighttime tea. He's not doing that. This isn't even to mention that if somebody actually did take on that money, they would likely ask for a draft pick on top of Wentz to lessen the burn and sweeten the pot. So now not only are you losing a franchise quarterback, you're also digging into the future just to get him out of here. Then there's a team like the Colts, who according to reports could be interested in Wentz. Makes sense. Phillip Rivers older, likely out soon, a bunch of cap room. It's a fit schematically in being reunited with Frank Reich, who was the offensive coordinator with the Eagles during his career year in 2017. But the Colts, they would hold all the cards because they know the QB is unhappy, which likely increases their leverage. And they don't necessarily need Wentz. Carson, he might not even be the best available quarterback this offseason, meaning they would likely only do it if the deal was a steal that solely benefited them, and the Eagles are just jumping ship. Long story short, this headline is going to be way beyond just a disgruntled employee and will continue to be a story all offseason, which after tonight, well, it's officially day 1. Welcome. That's it for Sports Extra. We'll be right back.